G'day guys, beautiful weather today, sun's shining bright. Just a quick tour of the backyard. So just be a quick one today. Citrus in my wine barrels is all setting fruit nicely. Some nice fruits. The Valencia is just going nuts. Multi-grafted cherry, covered in beautiful cherries. Multi-grafted apple, 10 different varieties, all different colours and flavours. Some red ones up here. Silver beet, taller than I am. Need to get onto that. Mulberries, been picking these. It's been feasting on mulberries. It's, yummy. I'll just come out here and just munch away on these things. Alright, moving on. R2E2 mango. Pot, it's been in this pot for years. I only had a frost cloth over that this year, and it is just loving life. There's no damage to it whatsoever. In fact, out of all of my mangoes, this one's probably seems to be the most cold tolerant. It doesn't mind the cold too much at all. Even my one out the front in the ground that's much bigger than this was a bit more sensitive with the cold. My Hawaiian Supreme is coming back to life. It got hammered by the frost, but it's recovering. White shitut over there, bananas, ricotta. Getting ready to put on some more fruit for this season. Star apple, almost lost that. I didn't even put a frost cloth over that. It had virtually no protection. Jackfruit's recovering from winter. They're doing really well, pushing on new growth. Pretty happy with how they've recovered. They're grafted jackfruits too, by the way. My star fruit, it's hard to sort of see, but it is pushing on all new growth. Should possibly start flowering soon, I believe. In fact, yeah, I think I see some flower buds in there, possibly. Yeah, so might do another update on that soon. Moving around, try and get through this quickly. Namroy's looking a bit crook. My multi-grafted fig tree, nice and healthy. This has got a bunch of rare varieties on it. Pushing on some new growth. Grummy Charmer, this is a yellow or orange Grummy Charmer. Looking to get that in the ground this year, this season. Strawberry cherry guava, covered in flower buds. Looking forward to hopefully a fruitful season with that. Super dwarf peach and nectarine. Plenty of fruit, all hiding underneath these branches here. So we're going to have to get that netted up pretty soon. Two-way apricot, covered in fruit. Absolutely covered. Nashi pear. There's a few fruit. Uh, it, it's still quite young, but you know, it's getting some fruit on there. There's a few that are hanging on, and it's still pushing on a few flowers. The rose apple, minimal protection, had a frost cloth on it, but I mean, this has survived without a frost cloth through winter here before, but I just didn't want all this new growth to copper hiding. So yeah, it's looking good. Lots of new happy growth there. Three-way pear. All three varieties have fruit on it. Pakenham's Triumph, um, Williams, and what's the other one? Pierre Bosque or whatever it's called. Yep. Finally got my tomatoes in. Usually I get them in a bit earlier than this. I've usually got fruit, ripe fruit at this time, but I don't this year, which isn't a bad thing. I'm only doing one cherry tomato this year. Usually I do 12 tomatoes in here, and I trellis them up, and they usually go up the whole way up to the top here. But this year I've decided only to do 6, and I'm just going to let them get a bit bushier than I have in the past. So this one here is a cherry tomato, and this is a honey drop, which I've found is really prolific with fruit, and they taste amazing. They're super sweet. There is some fruit already on here, plenty coming on. And these are, I've got 4 big Malaccas, and they grow massive fruit, over a kilo. Great for sauces. And that one's a George's giant tomato as well, so that's similar in size. Bit of basil in the middle, red shallot growing, a bunch of citrus doing well, pushing on new growth. Mango, this is a red Atamoya, red fleshed Atamoya, suffered through winter, dropped a lot of its leaves, had some dieback. It's in full recovery, looking nice, pushing on growth. Another 6-way or 7-way, sorry, multi-grafted apple. Got a bunch of different apples, a lot of heritage varieties and so forth. There's some red ones, green ones all over it. Blueberries, Tamarillo is going nuts. This is going to be a massive year for Tamarillos. We've got some fruit set already. So looking forward to making lots of jams and chutneys and relishes and so forth, and just eating them fresh because they're amazing. Do like them. My orange tree that's in full shade underneath my Tamarillo. Loving life. It's the healthiest out of all of them. Citrus don't mind the shade. I don't have to feed this as much. I don't have to water it as much, and it's just, look at the leaves on it. It's luscious and green. We've got some fruit up the back there from last season. It does set fruit, and they do sweeten up and ripen underneath here. More multi-grafted dwarf apples. All the apple trees here I grafted myself, guys. Clusters. I don't thin my fruit out. I rather prop it. Prefer the small fruit, goes in kids' lunch boxes and so forth. Moving through. A bunch of other stuff in the ground here. We've got artichokes. There's another tropical nashi there that I've attempted to graft on here, and it's still alive, but hasn't pushed on any new growth yet, but it is still green, very much alive, so we'll see how that goes. We've got some coriander, some dill, we have chamomile. We do make our own teas of all sorts of different types, guys. So some more basil down there. We've got all our garlics here. They're pretty much ready to harvest. We have around here a bunch of different seedlings and so forth. This is cuttings from other trees and all sorts of other things. This is a golden riverside fig, very rare. Multi-grafted apples, black sapote or sapote with fruits on it. I don't protect this at all. This stays out in winter year round. No protection, no frost cloth, nothing. And it's pushing on new growth, and it's got some new flowers that are starting to set as well. And it hasn't even really, the season hasn't really begun for it. It will push on plenty more flowers. We have, this was supposed to be a Manzano cold climate chili, like the Ricotto, a yellow variety, just supposed to be milder and not as spicy. And the label says Manzano yellow, and the heat rating, as you can see, is supposed to be a 3, but this is actually hotter than the red one. So I would put this up at around, this is like if you were to rate it like the way they rate their chilies, I would put this at a 10. Mind you, I'm quite comfortable eating, a 10 rated chili, but yeah, it's certainly not a 3. We've got some fruit setting all over this feijoa, and this is a Nasa meat, which doesn't brown apparently when you cut it. I haven't tried this one yet. I got this to hopefully increase pollination with my one in the front yard, but pretty keen to try it. All the beans, they've had enough. They're starting to get sooty mold and so forth. I think we're going to pull these out probably this weekend. These are all shelling peas, so all that's going to come out. The broad beans are just going nuts. I mean, the peas are at 3 meters tall. Beans are at 2 meters tall, the broad beans. Same here, all of our peas, snow peas and sugar snap peas, they're all done for the season. We're going to pull all these out and redress this bed for some probably cucumbers and so forth. We've got our new seeds in, zucchini, squashes, pumpkin, all that in here, and there's some sweet potato that decided to sprout from like 2 or 3 seasons ago was the last time we did sweet potato, and it's just reappeared, so that's pretty cool. In here, I'm going to have to get a bigger net on this. This is cabbage and cauliflower that's just gone rampant. So we need to probably get the net off this and put a bigger net on. This is the Pakistani black mulberry. Produces a very large mulberry. Next to it is the Kingston black cider apple. It's got a very complex flavour. Looking forward to grafting this onto some of my other varieties in the future. And I've got a new area down the back here, guys, that I've just recently started to revamp. You'll have to excuse, it's a bit messy out here because we're still working on this area, but we've got 2 different varieties, male and female, of kiwi fruit, and they can fight for position, and it'll be survival of the fittest. We'll see how that goes. Now, to maximise space and to be able to get my beans in as well as my cucumbers, because usually my cucumbers and that, I fill all these beds up with them, and we just get mass harvests of cucumbers for preserves and fresh to eat. So I really didn't want to miss out on that this year, so I decided to clear this area up the back here and put these in for my beans. So we've got scarlet runners here that haven't germinated yet. Butter beans, some of those are starting to push through. I bought some button squashes One of them died, but we really get into the squashes, the button squashes, the little golden ones. So I do have seeds for them, but I just really wanted to get these in as soon as possible. So I just bought some and put them in. Over here, it's a seedling I grew. I don't remember what it is. I think it might be some type of squash, but I can't remember. I didn't label it. But then amongst it, I did have a bunch of seedlings in through here. They all died, so I've decided to put in snake beans. So I've got a red snake bean in there germinating. Black snake beans are germinating. And we've got some purple beans, which are like the purple variety of a butter bean. So there, a bunch of those are germinating too. Here next to all the pots is a Panama Gold passion fruit. It's not the best location for it, but we're short on space, guys. So this is where it is, and it'll just sprawl through here. Random tomato. Yeah, so a bunch of figs, all different varieties here. They're all suckers and seedlings from the neighbour's fig tree, and they all taste different. We've got all from the one tree, either suckers or seedlings, and we've got a mixture of berry figs and honey figs, all from the one parent tree. So very interesting, and they all taste different. It's very cool. Moving on, in the caught up on the broad beans there. Moving into the hothouse. In here, I bought a nice, beautiful, ripe jackfruit from the local market. I was pretty excited. Usually I can only ever find cooking jackfruit, but this is a ripe jackfruit, and I was really excited. So we ate that and enjoyed the fruit, the fresh, delicious fruit out of that. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to plant the seeds and see what happens. And every single one of them germinated. Every single one, which is, you know, you could have knocked me over with a feather. Even one that was three damaged seeds, and one good one in that pot, all four germinated. So incredible. Sapodilla, Canistel, dropped all of its leaves. This has been in here all winter, and it's getting a good head start for spring, and it's loving it in here so much. We're getting all these flower buds forming, so I think this might stay in here, and you never know, we might be able to maybe get a taste. You never know. Give it a go. Couple of I think there's Indian guava, Hawaiian guava there. I'm right into my chilies, guys, so I've got chilies galore. They're all getting ready and recovering, flowering and fruiting for the new season. My star apple, this was out most of winter, and then it really took a sudden decline. So I got it in here pretty quick the minute all the leaves started to burn. And look, it is looking a bit motley, but if you have a look at the new growth on it, it is quite healthy, and it's recovered nicely. Such a beautiful, beautiful tree, the star apple, with these beautiful metallic underside of the leaves. I'm not sure whether you can see that well. Any of you are familiar with it, you'll know what I'm talking about. They've just got this beautiful metallic golden underside. So this is very much recovered, and it probably could, well, it could go back outside, but I'm going to leave it in here and just let it do its thing, let it get bigger, stronger and healthier, and see how I go with that. Moving around to the other side here, we have a very rare variegated Sabara Jabberdacoba. Geez, this was going to be a quick video. It's turned out not to be. We have more chilies over here, guys. I do need to do some weeding in here. This is just some jalapenos, and then these Don's giant chilies. They're great, good for drying, nice and fresh as well. Some random seedlings, I think in there we've got some Adamoys, cherry moys, and possibly even some soursops that have germinated. Pineapples, we've got one here that I just recently brought from inside out to here just because it was getting too big for in the house. Another one that's been in here for probably about 2 years now, and it was in the house for about 1.5 years. So this one's well and truly mature, and it loves it out here. So I think this, if I got this in a bigger pot, this might fruit in the next year or so, which would be pretty cool. The rats get in here and they just eat all the leaves and all the fruit off of my chili trees. Some of these chili trees are 4+ years old, guys. So, you know, this one here's 4+ years old. Purple tiger, very hot chili. Habanero, we've got some cayenne chilies. We've got all sorts of different chilies. This here's the black Madeira fig. I was gonna get some fruit, a taste last season, which I was pretty excited. I haven't had the opportunity of tasting black Madeira before. Anyone who knows anything about fig trees knows that this is probably one of the most tastiest figs you can get, and it's known as, it's the most desired. But it needs a really, really long season, and unfortunately here, getting these things to ripen fully is a bit of a challenge. So in the past I've been sitting in here to try and extend the season, and last season there was about, I don't know, 4 or 6 fruits on it that were almost ripe, and the damn rats got the lot of them. So I've got chickens in surrounding properties, and I'm near a reserve, so unfortunately these are the things that you deal with. Possums, rats, and all that can't be avoided. I've tried traps and everything. There's only so much you can do, guys, but the good thing is we've got some fruit this year, and I'm going to try my very best to protect it and hopefully be able to get a taste. And if I do get one that ripens up, I'll definitely be posting it and sharing my experience and letting you guys know what I think about it. We have a Mammy or Mamey sapote seedling here. I've got 2 of them. This one's the healthiest out of the 2. It's doing really, really well. We have my sapodilla, which was outside all winter, no frost damage whatsoever. I only brought it in here in the hopes that this little flower might actually set. It's the only reason I brought it in here, but I don't think it's going to. So I'll probably put this back outside soon. I don't want to getting too used to this environment that's in here. My cherry moya, it's been struggling since day one, this one. Really want to get this in the ground, but I need it to get bigger and stronger, otherwise I think I'll lose it. I think this is the Sophia or something like that, or yeah, Sophia cherry moya. It's just I went on a waiting list for this. It's the cherry moyas for dailies, they just sell out so fast. So I pre-ordered this one, and it turned up, and it had just, unfortunately, I think they just tried to get it out the door a bit too fast. It really wasn't ready. Barely any roots. The graft hadn't really taken well, but I've been able to nurse it through till now, and it's starting to push on new growth. So hopefully this season it thickens up a bit and gets a bit stronger, develops a better root system, and maybe next season I can think about getting this in the ground. Can't wait. Really looking forward to that. We have here, I've had a couple of these and they haven't survived. This one's struggling too, and has been since I got it, but it has doubled in size since I bought it, and that is the miracle fruit or miracle berry. So it does look pretty average, but it is growing and it is surviving. So we'll see how that goes. Looking forward to seeing if I can keep that alive longer than the other ones that I've had in the past. My Rollinia was doing well through winter. It just wanted to fruit flat out. I ripped all the fruits off, and it got destroyed by scale, and possibly the rats might have chewed some of the leaves off, and it went backwards really fast. And even though it had dropped its leaves, it still had a green trunk up until about a week ago. I've done a scratch test on it. Yeah, I think it's a goner. My Abiu, lost that through winter, and I pulled it out of the pot, and I was going to use the pot for something else, and the root system is still very much alive on this. Now this wasn't a grafted Abiu. This was actually an air layered Abiu. So I'm pretty keen to just leave this. I ended up putting it in this smaller pot, and I'm just going to leave it in there, guys, and see what happens. You never know. The roots are still alive. Something might pop up out of the soil in the future, and if it doesn't, it doesn't take up very much room. So yeah, I'm going to leave that and see what happens. Why not? Same with my blackberry jam. The root system that died right back through winter. Now that was a hermaphrodite blackberry jam, a female air layered cutting that would be self-pollinating apparently. But unfortunately, I probably should have brought that in here, and I didn't until it was too late, until it started to decline, and then that was too late. But I went to dig it out of the pot the same day I did the Abiu, and same deal, very much alive under the soil. So I've left that in there, and we'll just see what happens. I do have some seedling blackberry jams that made it through winter. I've got two because if you guys don't know, you do need a pollinator for these typically, unless you get a fruiting cutting from a fruiting branch. Then apparently you can just run the one tree and it will continue to fruit. But that's what I've been told. But yeah, so I got two of those. There's the other mamey, bunch of different mangoes in here. I've got a bunch of different varieties. I am attempting to get better at grafting mangoes. Timing seems to be the biggest key to success, I believe. I think I've got my technique pretty good. It's just a matter of getting the right time. And the problem I'm finding is some of these varieties wake up at different times, and getting them to be at the same stage for grafting in my climate seems to be the challenge. Um, my Bowen seedlings, I got two of those, and they're outside, and they seem to be a bit slower than the other varieties. All my other varieties, even the ones that are outside, not in the hothouse, seem to sort of wake up a bit earlier. So don't know what I'm going to do there. I don't think that Bowen is going to be the key to a rootstock here in Melbourne. Personally, I think that it wakes up a bit too late, and I think that that's maybe why a lot of these. This is just my theory, by the way. Maybe that's why a lot of these grafted mango trees don't really survive here in Melbourne in our cold climate, and I think it's because the Bowen seems to be it wakes up a lot slower than some of the other varieties. So I'm gonna play around with this a bit over the next couple of years. I'd say it's probably going to take a while for me to get this right, and you've only got one chance a year to really nail it or fail it in terms of getting your timing right, and also trialing different rootstocks. Like I said, R2E2 seems to wake up really early. Kiat seems to wake up really early. Both the Kiat and the R2E2 seem to be they wake up really early here in Melbourne. I've got both of those outside with minimal protection, and they seem to be the first ones to sort of start pushing on new growth. So maybe that might be the go. Maybe grafting varieties onto something that wakes up much earlier, like a Kiat or an R2E2. So we're going to try that. So much for this short video, but I'm rambling on, sorry. Peanut butter fruit. Very happy in here, apart from the bugs attacking it, but it doesn't mind being in here. This is an air layered peanut butter, so this hasn't fruited for me before, but I'm seeing some buds in here that might, they're teasing me a bit, it might fruit this year, possibly. I don't think this one will ever be outside. I think this is probably going to spend its life in here, and I'll prune it to a size that's manageable, as will be a lot of the trees that are in here. Some of these tropicals, they will survive outdoors. Like same deal with this, it might survive outside once it matures a bit, but will it fruit? Probably not, you know. Like my achacha over here now. These achachas, this is an air layered fruiting achacha. This will 100% survive in our climate with protection, but it'll never fruit. It'll never fruit in our climate, guys. I don't think it ever will. It'll definitely live, but will it fruit? I don't think so. So I think once again this is going to be, and they're a slow growing tree, so I think this is one that'll probably be maintained and kept in here for its life. And if it gets to a stage where, you know, some of these tropicals don't fit in here, which will, you know, that'll happen eventually, I might look into making a larger structure to house some of these rarer tropicals that don't typically survive or fruit here in Melbourne. I've got some other Jabberdacoba seedlings, a couple of scarlets, one's from Daly's, one's from a guy in Queensland. Sent me a bunch of seedlings. So we've got the scarlet. This one here is that one. And then we have the Oriana, which I'm pretty sure that's the Oriana's, I think the green, or the white, sorry, white Jabbo. I've got an AXP for Trantha outside there, already out with some others, hybrids and so forth. I've got a bit of a selection of Jabbos. I've got a nice Sabara in a pot that I've had for probably about, it's probably 5 years old, maybe more. And that's got some beautiful bark peel. Still a while off fruiting, but yeah, it's definitely maturing. Some canistyle seedlings down there, just because. We've got some soursop seedlings. I've got a bunch of soursop seedlings. Some of them are doing better than others. There's a lot of other stuff here, guys, I won't go into, but you know, we've got a bunch of different mango seedlings. You know, I'm gonna sort of test these outside and see which ones wake up sooner than others, and they will be my rootstock, whichever ones seem to survive the cold the best, and also push on growth the earliest will probably be my rootstock for some other varieties for testing, and you know, they'll be my guinea pigs. We've got a bunch of different dragon fruits. This year I'm going to start a new dragon fruit trellis, and that's going to have a bunch of different varieties on them. So we have Pink Panther, we have the yellow, which is not the Aussie Gold. We have Neon. We have Pink Panther, Scots Purple. There's the commercial red, and I just recently got this one as well, which is came as a free gift from Daly's. Zamorano. I've also got this pink apple cactus, which I believe I need a pollinator for. That's starting to wake up. So hopefully I can get, there's 2 varieties I think that are available around here. So hopefully I can get the other variety. So I do believe you need a pollinator for those. I might be wrong. If I am, please let me know. Yeah, some Thai guava seedlings there. I've got a bunch of those. Some more down there. Just because, why not, you know. Gumby. I've got a bunch of Gumby seedlings as well. Very medicinal. There's my wife out there. Hi. She's hiding. Yep. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Sorry for the so-called short videos ended up not being so short, but yeah, veggie patch due for a revamp. Yeah, so that's that AXP for Tramfer. We've got a couple of hybrids here. There's a Costida and a red hybrid. I've got 2 more mature ones out the front there. But I've got a friend that wants a couple of Jabbos, so I'm going to grow these ones up and get them a bit bigger. And this one's got really good branching, so although my other one's much more mature than this, I really like the shape of this one, so I might keep this one and maybe give him the other one. Strawberries. We're getting a decent supply of strawberries this year, which is good. This is an unknown variety of fig. My wife's brother has a cleaning agency, and he goes and cleans up rental properties and deceased estates and so forth. And this fig was a cutting that she took from one of the trees that were on the property, and I believe this is going to be quite a rare fig, guys. So we don't know what it is yet, but the family was called By the Way, so we're calling this the By the Way fig. But if I identify it, I'll let you know. But I'm pretty keen to see this thing fruit because it's got a very, very uncommon leaf structure. So interested to see what this actually tastes like. So we've got a bunch of natives as well. This is the Boobiella. Fruits a lot. It flowers a lot, but we haven't had any fruit set as of yet. We've got a dwarf Katui, or I don't even know how to pronounce it, but the dwarf coffee with some volunteer tomatoes that we'll have to get out of there. A volunteer pomegranate there. We have raspberry wall covered in raspberries. We've just been picking these things by the day. Covered in flowers today too. Blueberries. Really need to be in some bigger pots, but some of these blueberries, they produce quite a large blueberry. We've got some dwarf finger limes. I've got some full-size finger limes as well that are getting bigger. And now these things can get very large, so once they get unmanageable, I will probably move these on. I've got 3 full-size finger limes, and they can get up to 5 meters tall, so they will eventually outstay their welcome, as will a lot of trees here. That's why I've got stuff in pots, guys, so I can have a large variety of different types of fruits and trees. And then once they, there's a ricotta there. I didn't even notice that was there hiding. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, there's a ricotta over there. We'll have to harvest that. Yeah, it gives me the opportunity to have a vast variety of different fruits and flavours. And then once they get to a stage where they're too large for our very small, very cramped property, I can move them on, and if I like them, I might get a younger version of them and start all over again. So that way, I'm keeping them small by rotating new stock through. So that's what we do, and some things I won't like and I won't replace, and we'll try something new. You know, this red scented lime, this is another native, and this is a dwarf as well. So the good thing about these dwarf ones, I've got this one and the rainforest pearl, is because they only get to like a metre tall in the ground. So these things are never going to be a problem, and I should be able to find somewhere to put these in the ground, as opposed to the other ones being in the pots. And I do like finger limes, so there's a bunch of fruit setting on this one. So my favourite is actually an unknown variety, which I have over here. This one's supposed to be, this is supposed to be a, what's it called? This one's a pink or something like that, but it's not very sweet. It's quite sour. This one over here was supposed to be red champagne, that's it. So they're both supposed to be red champagnes. And this one over here is not the same variety as that red champagne over there, even though they both say they're red champagne. But this one struggles all the time. It always looks like it's dying. It drops leaves, and even when it does have a full head of hair, they're always sort of yellow and average. But this is much sweeter. This is the sweetest variety I've got, and it's full of flowers, and it's got some fruit set on here as well. So yeah, that's yeah, the unknown variety of finger lime. That's it's a green inside, and the red champagne over here is pink inside. So clearly not the same. Citrus, bunch of different citrus. Love the citrus. There's a bacon avocado in a 250 litre wine barrel. It's a 500 litre wine barrel cut in half, so that's 250 litre pot there. Very large. They're on wheels. I've got two of them. This one's the Pinkerton. Pinkerton doesn't seem to do too well here. It does fruit. I've had fruit off this before. But everyone that I've seen that's got Pinkerton here in Melbourne, they all just look, pretty average. I think out of all the varieties, it's probably one of the least tolerant to our climate, which is a shame because they've got such a small growth habit. But it is what it is. Yeah, so this is a seedless longan. It's not looking too happy at the moment, but that being said, we do have new growth on there as well, so that's not too bad. And this is a Atamoya custard apple, and this is an African Pride. It's dropping its leaves and starting to push on new growth for the season, so looking forward to that. Grapes, rats keep eating them every season, but we've actually got some that they haven't noticed yet. It's got a bunch here. Let's see if I can get it to zoom. So hopefully they don't notice those ones, and I'll get them bagged up pretty soon, I think. Otherwise we'll miss out once again. There's a bunch of different varieties up here, and I've been trying to train them to go across the top here, which I have, but it still needs to fill out some more. So we have Thompson Seedless, Sultana. There is one called there's Crimson Seedless. Dawn. We have a Beauty, which didn't survive winter, unfortunately. So I'm hoping to get another one of those because it looks like it's going to be a good grape. And Delight is the other one. All table grapes. But so far, every time they fruit, damn rats get them. So we'll see. Hopefully we can get some grapes this year. That's pretty much it, guys, for the backyard anyway. More chamomile, dwarf, fig. This one's the violet de Baudeur. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. We've got a bunch of other things over here. Sorry, it's a bit messy over here, but we have a baby Jabbo, and we have this is a King Thai, I think it is. It's a Thai mango of some sort. I bought this from a local grower. I can't really tell you what the variety is, but they said it's a Thai mango, so could be King Thai, possibly. I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. Had it for a few years. It's a slow grower, and it doesn't like the sun and it doesn't like water. That's why it's under the carport there. But it does love that position. It's quite happy there, getting dappled light and minimal watering. Yeah, I'll have to do a tour out the front. I've got this avocado here that I'm using as a grafting subject. Not having much success with grafting avocado, but yeah, I got this on special, and I'm just going to keep cutting and hacking it, and finally, hopefully, eventually, I'll get better at grafting avocado. Yeah, all right. Well, I think I'll wind it up now, guys. And thanks for watching. Leave a comment, please subscribe, and catch you next time. Thanks. Bye.